One of these cars on the harbour bridge in Sydney Harbour, driving along there, and I thought, wow, what a beautiful car. The thing that stood out was the flat, simple design and the flared fenders. It really looked sporty, and it even looked like a soft ride, which they are. Hi, my name's Paul Nelson, and this is my 1964 Mercedes-Benz 230 SL, commonly known as a Pagoda roof or a bent roof, simply because of the shape of the hardtop is dished. They were initially designed by Paul Braque and are released in 1963 at the Geneva Motor Show. They made about 48,500 of these vehicles, starting from 1963 through to 1971. Three models appeared: the 230 SL, the 250 SL and the 280 SL. They made only about 5,500 of the 250 SL, and for only 1 year. However, they did produce only two cars in 1968 before they introduced the 280 SL. This particular vehicle I bought in West Hollywood, believe it or not, right-hand drive. It was first delivered to a woman in Blackburn, UK, where it only stayed for 2 months. She had a friend in Spain where they did a deal, and the car then went over to him in Spain, a German fella. He lived there for 14 years with the car. Then he went back to Germany for 3 years, and then finally migrated to California, where the car stayed for the remainder of its life overseas. That's when I bought the car. The car has had a body-on restoration. In other words, we didn't take all the wiring and everything out and put it on a rotisserie. It was a bare metal respray. The colour is not the original colour, it was a beige, but the previous owner had it in this very nice white colour, and however the hard top is still the same matching hard top, which is a chocolate brown. We pulled the engine down, all the transmission was taken out. The engine was totally rebuilt as it had a bad number 6 cylinder. It was down to 96 psi and all the rest were up there, but so there was a total rebuild on the engine. I had the engine totally ceramically coated, and it's stayed like chrome since the day I've had it, which is about 6 years now. The hubcaps are not off a 230 there because the 230s had a two-piece hubcap, a dress rim and a cap. These are stainless steel off the 280s, and they're a one-piece hubcap. These cars, when they had the different coloured hardtop from the body, they usually had the inserted colour in the hubcap the same colour as the hardtop. The 230 was the fastest out of all of the cars by 1 mile an hour, but the favourite is the 280 because of the more torque. However, during the process of what they call this is the W113 body shape, they cheapened them up through production. The 230 SL I think is the prettiest one. It's got the gooseneck rear vision mirrors, the chrome wipers or the stainless steel wipers, the stainless steel rear vision mirror interior, and a few other little items there that made it a nicer looking car, I thought. They're a very popular car. I think you could describe them as a timeless design and an ultimate boulevard cruiser. And they still manage to keep up to speed with all the other cars on the road, but very, very comfortable to drive. I've had quite a few classics over the years. And another issue I've still currently got a BMW E9, but you know, I drive the other cars and I'd come home and I think, well, right, I've had enough for the day. But this car, I just come home and I think, gee, where else can I go? Because it's such an easy car to drive, and I think that's why they're so popular. And because of the quality of the build, these cars have gradually appreciated over the years, and they're quite expensive to buy now, and also the parts are expensive to buy. So if you're doing a restoration, beware, or be aware, yes. Okay, this is an inline single overhead cam 6-cylinder, 2.3 litres. A lot of people often ask me, is it diesel, because it's got the mechanical fuel pump on there, but no, it's petrol. And it's got multi-port injection, which is your 6 cylinders there, straight into the ports. When tuning these, it's important to get this right, the linkage there, which is your fuel pump, the automatic solenoid there, and your air valve over there. That's very important, and not a lot of people know really how to tune these, but particularly the fuel pumps. I remember I first saw one of these cars on the Harbour Bridge in Sydney Harbour, driving along there, and I thought, wow, what a beautiful car. The thing that stood out was the flat, simple design and the flared fenders. It really looked sporty, and it even looked like a soft ride, which they are. This car, I watched it for nigh on a year in the States. I think the chap had trouble selling it because it was a right-hand drive, and he finally lowered his price, and that's when I sprung into action and got it and put it on a ship and brought it back here and started work on it. When I'm driving this car, there's not one time I can remember that people don't comment on it, like, wow, what a beautiful car, or they don't make them like that anymore, which is quite gratifying, you know, to know that you put in the hard yards restoring it and people appreciate it. But that's what these cars are all about. You take them out to drive around so the younger generation can look at them, or the older generation can appreciate them, you know, bringing back old memories. They have appeared in numerous movies. One that comes to mind is Richard Gere. He had a silver one, which he actually crashed. So to me, they're sort of a car you'd see Lauren Bacall driving around in on the Mediterranean or something like that.